And let's open the hood. So there's a little yellow lever there. Slide that to the left or right. I don't remember which direction.
To the left.
Okay, I lift that up and get your hood prop up.
Oh yeah. Go on that side.
It goes right here. Okay.
Right?
Yep. Okay. So my 14-year-old boy is changing oil for the first time. What do we got here to change the oil?
We have oil filter.
Okay.
Okay, we have a 5W30 full synthetic oil.
So how many quarts total?
So we have 6 quarts of oil.
Okay.
Then
What size wrench do we need for the oil drain plug?
we have a 15mm end wrench.
Okay.
Then we have the oil filter wrench.
Okay.
Rubber gloves. Then we have the oil drain pan.
All right.
Paper towel.
And what's that thing up against the wall there?
Oh, and then we have a creeper.
Okay. So what's the first step?
You want to loosen this?
And what are we taking off here?
This oil cap.
Ah, we need to wash this engine, but that's another day.
Oh.
Okay, so that's the cap for the oil fill. So we've taken that off, and that'll let the oil drain faster, right? Okay. Now we're gonna get our gloves on and take the oil pan and a 15mm wrench underneath and start draining the oil. And we got the creeper, so we're not crawling around the ground. Unfortunately, we only have one creeper, so it looks like I get to crawl around on the ground. Let's see if you can locate the drain plug without my help here.
That's not good.
So you're very close to it.
Oh, right here. No, that's not it.
So right here is the drain pan.
So right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good.
All right, so do you have your oil pan centered with the drain plug?
Just about.
Now when you start loosening it, it may be tight at first, but when it starts to loosen, it's going to start dripping out. So that's where you need to kind of keep your arms away from the drain plug and only let the oil hit your gloves in the drain pan. So, do you know which way's loosen?
Yeah, it's this way.
Which way?
It's this way. Going that way. Can't get that.
Is it too tight?
Yeah. Oh, you could say that, yeah. That's hot.
Is it moving?
Nope.
All right, so I got a trick for you. You can put this on the end of that wrench to get some more leverage. So let me show you. So I can just hook this on the end like this, and then when we push down at the bottom, that gives you more leverage. Okay, so what you do is you keep a hand here, locked, hold that in place, and then push the very bottom of that, and that gives you more leverage to push it. See? All right. Now it's loose enough. Now you can just use that one. Make sure your oil pan's centered still. So that's a good trick if you need more leverage to loosen a bolt. Now remember, this is going to start dripping out. So once it gets loose enough, you can start using your fingers, and you're trying to keep your hand up high enough to where the oil is only hitting your glove and the drain pan. Okay? There you go. Now it's going to start dripping out. All right? So keep your arm up high. So the trick is to not get any oil on your skin or your clothes. We just want it on the gloves and the drain pan. Okay, hold on a second. So right at first, it might shoot out. It might shoot out that way. So get your drain pan up and close to it to catch it at first. All right? And then follow the stream and go down and follow it. You're going to see the stream pop out. Okay, ready? There you go. Keep catching it. Now go down with the pan.
God. Oh.
Well, you didn't make too big a mess. I think it's just on your glove. So, as soon as that comes out, you're trying to get your hand out of the way, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you know next time. And we got a little bit of splash on the floor, but not bad. So sometimes you got to follow the oil as it's draining too. So as it gets less full, the stream's going to come this way some more. And you'll see that happen here in just a few. And we opened the oil cap up above to give it some airflow to let it fly out faster there. And you want to be really careful with the bolt when you take it out. You want to make sure to keep it clean. You don't want to just sit it on the ground where dirt can collect on it. So we got a nice rag here we can set the bolt on. And here's some rags you can wipe your hand off with. As soon as this is done draining, we can take off the oil filter. Just want to let this drain just a little bit longer here. Alright, it looks like the oil's just about done draining. It's close enough. Let's go ahead and put the plug back in. And be very careful not to drop it. So you're going to hand thread it first all the way in. And get that finger tight, and then we'll go ahead and tighten it with the wrench. So got your 15mm wrench. And we don't want to get this super tight, but we definitely want to get it snug. So go ahead and grab something with your other arm so you have some leverage. Alright, so you got leverage with your other arm, now pull with that one. And pull, keep going.
That's like all I can go.
Keep going. Alright, that should be tight enough. Now it's time for the oil filter. So that's going to be real close to this oil pan for this car anyway. So see if you can find the oil filter. Kind of looks like an upside down cup. It's going to be closer towards the front of the engine. Yep, that's it. So let's grab the filter wrench and start loosening that. Alright. So you try to hold that in place until you can get it tight. Takes a little bit of time to get used to it here. Alright, get the tension out of it, or the slack. Oh, it's turning now. Just get another bite, do the same thing. And once it gets loose enough, you can start doing it with your hand. You gotta make sure the drain pan is right below this. Careful, you got oil in there, you don't want that to spill.
Ooh.
Take it easy there. Now loosen it some more. See, it's easy to use once you get the hang of it. Oh,
Yep.
starting to drip out, so just barely loosen it now. Loosen it just a little bit more and it's going to start draining out faster. Okay, now just hold up a second. Adjust your oil pan. Look where you are dripping. So center your oil pan with the oil filter. Wait a minute, let this drain out some more. Alright, it looks like the oil filter is drained most of the way, so we're going to continue taking it off. Keep a good grip of it from this point on because it's kind of heavy, and if you let that fall and hit this, it's going to splash everywhere. Okay? Don't worry about getting your hand dirty right now. You need get your hand covering the bottom of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like this.
Okay.
And now turn. Okay? Now keep a good grip on it. Keep spinning and keep your hand underneath of it. Okay?
Alright.
And do not drop this. Another trick you can do is you can punch the bottom of it with a screwdriver to make it drain out the bottom of it. But I didn't want to mess with that this time. Maybe next time I'll show you that. Make sure to keep your hand underneath that. It's getting close. Okay, now carefully lower it down towards the oil pan. All right, now you can tilt it, keep a hold of it. You can tilt it and let some of the oil drain out and go inside there. And now just carefully put it inside there. There you go. All right. Now let's hop out and grab the new oil filter. All right, so we have the oil filter and some oil. Go ahead and open up the oil filter. All right, so this has a rubber O-ring on the top of it, and that's what seals the oil filter. But it's always a good idea to lubricate that before you install it so it doesn't stick on you next time you have to take it off. And it's also a good idea to go ahead and add a little bit of oil to the inside of the oil filter. That way when you start the engine, you get lubrication right away. All right, so carefully pour some oil in there and fill it about half full. Is that about half full?
Yeah, about. Maybe a little more. Alright, that's half full.
Okay, now keep that level. Now put the lid back on your oil so you don't spill it. Now we want to go ahead and lubricate the O-ring. Looks like there's enough oil there, we can do that. So go all the way around that O-ring there, get it nice and lubricated. Now wipe off any of the excess oil that's on the side of it because we don't want that filter wrench to slip. Okay, we should be good. Now let's go back underneath and start putting the new oil filter on. And be very careful not to drop this, okay? Keep your hand underneath of it, just like when you're taking it off, keep your hand underneath of it. And then once it gets threaded, you'll be safer, but make sure it's threaded before you take your hand off of it. All right? Keep that nice and level. Okay, don't let it touch nothing else either. Make sure it stays centered and goes right to those threads. Remember, keep your hand directly underneath of it, so if it falls, you'll just catch it. Now, can you tell if it's hit the threads?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what we want to do is get it as tight as we can with our hands. And then after that, do about half of a turn with the filter wrench. And if you're really strong, you can tighten it really good with your hands and maybe only a quarter turn. But how strong are you?
I can't even lift 30 pounds.
Well, we're going to cut that out. So tighten it as much as you can there with your hands. All right, now let's grab the filter wrench and we'll go ahead and turn it another half of a turn. So half of a turn means that this would turn to here. So this one would end up over here. Okay? There you go. Keep going. One more bite like that should do it. All right. Looks like you got it. So we did another half turn, and that should be plenty tight enough now. So we got the oil drain plug in place, the new oil filter on. Now it's time to add some oil up above. All right, so now we're going to add some oil, and what we're going to do is just add the 5 quarts and wait to add the rest until we get the car on the ground. So we got a step here to stand on. We've got a funnel. And pour somewhat slow, that way it doesn't overfill and spill out. So it's going to be pretty full, careful. We're trying not to make a mess. There you go. So just pour nice and controlled. So just be patient. If you try to pour too fast, it could overflow inside the funnel, start spilling all over the engine, and then it's going to smoke everywhere when we start it. We're just about got it here. Okay, now let's let that funnel drain out a little bit. So go ahead and tip that back up right now. Get your lid back on it. All right, now let's take the funnel out and keep a rag under it so it's not dripping anywhere. And go ahead and put the oil cap back on. So we put 5 quarts in here. Now we're going to go ahead and start it up and back it off the ramps, then turn it off and check the oil and see if we need to add any more.
Oh, wait, we gotta take the things off.
Yep, we got to take the chock off and also the emergency brakes on too. So we got a chock behind the back tire there. We got to pull. Okay, take the emergency brake off. Okay, start it. Put it on the brake. Put it in reverse. All right, go ahead and back off the ramp slowly. Keep going. Keep going. All right, stop. Put it in park. And let's let it run about 30 seconds, then turn it off. Okay, go and turn it off. All right, now it's time to check the oil. And the dipstick is right there. All right, let's go ahead and pull the dipstick up. And be careful to keep it clean. Don't let it touch other things as you're pulling it out. Pull straight up there, or straight out. Okay, now pull it up and out of there. Okay, wipe it off. We're trying to wipe off just the bottom. So what we're trying to do is get the oil in the cross hatches, and we want to make sure it does not go above it. So let's go ahead and check the oil now. We're going to dip it in now that we've cleaned it. Now pull it back out. All right, it looks like the oil is right at the beginning of the cross hatches there. So it looks like we can go ahead and add the rest of the oil and we should be good to go. So go ahead and put that back in. And take the oil cap off. Grab the funnel. And we'll go ahead and put the rest of that quart from earlier down the oil fill here. So we're just pouring the 6th quart all the way in now. All right, grab your rag and then pull your funnel out. And put your oil cap back on. Okay, now it's time to pull out your dipstick again, clean it off, and then put it back in and check it one last time, but we should be good to go. Okay, now support the bottom of it and go ahead and dip it back in there and make sure it goes all the way down and don't get it dirty as you're putting it in there. All the way down.
No,
Okay.
it's all the way down.
Now pull it back out. Grab the end of it there so you can support it, and then show me where the cross hatches are. So it's hard to see, but it looks like the oil is right at the top of the cross hatches, so it looks like we are good to go. Let's go ahead and put that back in. All right, you changed oil for your first time. What do you think? Was that hard?
Nah.
Think you can do it again without my help?
Maybe.
Well, you could watch this video and you could do it.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Good job. So what do we do with the old oil now that we've changed it here? What do we do with this oil?
You can take it to your local auto parts store and they'll dispose of it for free.
All right.